Hello my viewers, welcome back on another video on Nicola Bulley's case on London Aaga Bits Channel. I saw an interesting new interview of Andrew Snowdon, the Crime Commissioner for Lancashire Police. This interview was published on Lancashire Post on 23rd of May by reporter Paul Faulkner. The news post heading caught my eye. It was worded as, "Cops in charge of search weren't bungling, it was Tik Tok amateur detectives who were the problem." I thought it would be wise for me to share this news post and the interview with you. In this interview, Lancashire's Police and Crime Commissioner says he wants to understand how Tik Toc'ers, pushing conspiracy theories, wrested the narrative surrounding the disappearance of Nicola Bulley away from the detectives leading the search for her. Let's watch what Andrew Snowdon says in this interview.
Have you ordered that review because you think it's good practice or because you have particular concerns yourself?
I think for me, thoughts remain with Nicola's family and her friends, but what is an absolutely tragic time. And every single step of the way that we're going with this review, family liaison officers are in place, and we're making sure that we do it with as much sensitivity to them as possible. And the reason that we've commissioned the review is because, yes, it is good practice when such a major story has come out and there's been such public concern to address that public concern and ask the questions and get somebody independent to come in. I'm also concerned that in a modern policing era, in a policing investigation that was sadly correct in its hypothesis all the way along, in which officers predicted correctly, very sadly, even the day that Nicola's body would tragically be found. And yet it became such a story, particularly in the national papers, about bungling, incompetent cops, yet they were right all along. So how did the police lose control of that narrative? And I'm grateful to outlets like the Lancashire Post, BBC Radio Lancashire, Lancashire Telegraph, Blackpool Gazette, all who were very measured and sensible in their reporting and listened to what the police were saying. But that wasn't the case with a lot of the national newspapers. And then this became an internationalized, sensationalized story. And TikTok in particular, and online amateur detectives pushing conspiracy theories out, which resulted in vile abuse towards Nicola's family and friends. How did that get so out of hand? And that is one of the clear work streams for the review of the College of Policing.
The criticism that was aimed at the force wasn't just directed at the confidence that they had in their hypothesis about what sadly proved prescient had actually happened to Nicola Bulley. It was also about the release of sensitive information about her, wasn't it? Was there any point during that investigation that you felt uncomfortable or had pause for thought?
Well, the ICO have made their statement on the release of that information. I have my own personal private views. This is one area of work stream for the college, so that's not something I would want to preempt. And I think I'll let the college do their work on that, and then we'll be happy to discuss that once that review is concluded. But I wouldn't want to preempt the outcome of that.
Just finally on this, how close was your contact with the force during that period? Because obviously the force has to remain operationally independent.
I can't direct and control operational resources. So my job is not to ring up the chief constable in the morning and tell him where to put which officers and how to run investigations. They are the professionals and know how to do this. Am I there to hold to account and make sure that, yes, in times of difficulty, the constabulary has the resources that they need and the backing that they need, but also to make sure that I'm keeping a close eye and holding the force to account in my role effectively as the regulator for Lancashire Police, as the Office of the Police and Crime Commissioner. So I was receiving regular briefings from the chief officer team on the case as it unfolded, including on Saturdays and Sundays as we progressed through that case.
As you can see, Andrew Snowdon is firmly saying the police hypothesis is sadly correct all the way along. What do you think of this interview of Andrew Snowdon? My main concern is if police and the Crime Commissioner are saying their line of investigation is correct. What do you think the inquest result is going to be? Is it going to be Nicola fell in the river and we are closing the case? Does this mean the police have ignored all other possibilities of third-party involvement? As you all aware, there is a petition created for an independent review of Nicola Bulley's case. Can anyone help to convince any of the national television to host questions to the Nicola Bulley's case investigation team? We need to gather all former well-experienced detectives whom have already raised their concerns on Nicola's case. If the national television prefers, they can include the top social media armchair detectives to post the questions. All what we want to make sure is, Nicola get the justice at the end of this investigation. In any case, if the investigation result is unsatisfactory, then the public should be able to voice out for an independent review. So ladies and gents, if you are watching this video, please think of any alternative ways to ensure the investigation is conducted thoroughly and fairly. Nicola is the voice of many voiceless. So please help to get the justice for Nicola. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the content, please remember to like this video and please subscribe my channel. Thank you all once again, and I will see you on another video.